Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about 6 of the most underrated hacks to help you lose weight. We try to complicate everything so much, and I want to simplify it and give you these little tips and tricks that if you're not trying these already, that I want you to do, because these could be the difference maker for you. So go grab your coffee, put up your feet, and let's get going on the most underrated fat loss hacks there are. Okay, so the first one may not sound like a lot, but I'll be honest with you, this one is the most underrated fat loss hack, and that is just planning. That doesn't mean necessarily prepping all your food, but planning what your nutrition's going to look like is an incredible difference maker. Because here's what happens, so often I hear this. People are at work and they've had a long day at work. They try to make their lunch be healthy and work into their calories, and they have meeting after meeting, and they're coming home after a long day. Their kids need them as soon as they get home, virtual school, all that kind of stuff. And you're trying to think of, okay, I've got 700 to 800 calories I can use for dinner that it'll fit into my calories for the day. What am I gonna make? And who wants to do that after a long day? You're tired, you're hangry, you just wanna eat and relax. And this is where everyone gets into trouble. They wing it from one meal to the next. So they have breakfast and then they record, okay, my breakfast was 400 calories. And then they say, okay, I ate lunch. My lunch is 700 calories. Instead of sitting down and planning it out so you know exactly what's coming. So this is how it could look. Sit down at night and figure out exactly what you're going to eat for breakfast, exactly what the numbers are, meaning how many calories and how many grams of protein you're consuming. Then do the same thing for lunch, do the same thing for dinner, and if you're going to use snacks, include your snacks in your planning as well. So when you go to bed, you will know exactly how your nutritional day is going to lay out. You can come home from work tired and hangry, and you don't have to think, because you already know what you're going to eat for dinner. Now, you may have to make that. Maybe you didn't cook it ahead of time, which is fine, right? But you at least know what you're going to cook and how it works into your calories, and you know it will work into your calories. You're far better off planning like this than you are winging it from meal to meal, which is where almost everyone gets into trouble. So taking the time every night to plan out what you're going to eat is going to be super, super helpful. It's going to keep you on track. And if you use an app to track and log your food, enter it into your app that night as well. So it's already in there. So you don't have to enter it as you go. You can even make that step. And that is another way to hold your feet to the fire. You've already entered in what you're going to eat. And if you go in another direction, you're going to have to take out something and put something else in. So once it's in there, you're set in stone. And if you track in a spreadsheet, just put it in your spreadsheet. But the point here is the simple act of planning will make a world of difference in your success for hitting your calorie goals. So let's go on to the second hack. So the second thing is to cut out nibbling and grazing. And I covered this a little bit in a previous video on reasons why you might not be losing weight. And again, it comes down to little bites and tastes of things. Grazing can also look like this, where you sit down and you have this little bit to eat, not a whole lot, and you don't stay full very long, so you're gonna eat again pretty soon, and doesn't keep you full, and you're gonna eat again. And so you're eating more frequently throughout the day, which is not really a bad thing if you're keeping track of everything that you're eating. But what might be a better way to go is to cut out all the little bits that you're nibbling on throughout the course of a day and make your meals larger. Once you make your meals larger, you're going to be less likely to stand up and go grab something to eat or nibble on this and graze and have a little meal and then a little meal. You can have a normal sized meal full of protein, vegetables, and you will feel fuller, and it's going to keep you feeling fuller longer, which is the whole point. So number 2, cutting out all the nibbling and grazing could be super helpful. Let's go on to number 3. Okay, so number 3, this is a biggie in my book as well, and that is have some go-to meals that you have in your food vocabulary. And by go-to meals, I mean meals that you almost always have the ingredients on hand. You know how to make because you've made them so many times. You know the portion sizes, you know the calories, and you know the protein grams because you've made this meal several times. But the most important thing about a go-to meal is that you like it. You love it. It is something that you frequent often. And along with this hack is eating some of those go-to meals frequently because your body's going to respond to that. And when you find meals that you enjoy, that you have the ingredients for, that you can make very quickly when life throws you a curveball and your day didn't go as planned and you don't know what you're going to do for dinner, you can always go to one of your go-to meals. And I want to also put this out there. When I was growing up, my idea of the word meal, in my head, that was we sit at the table, we have a plate, and we have lots of side dishes, protein and lots of side dishes on our plate. That was a meal. Meals don't have to look like that. One of my go-to meals is a small bowl that has oatmeal, Greek yogurt, topped with frozen berries. That's a meal for me. That's not the big spread at a table. So rethink how you view what a meal actually is and start making a list of go-to meals. I mentioned the oatmeal and Greek yogurt one. That's one I go to a lot. Another go-to meal for me is I like to make an omelet with 2 eggs and over a half a cup of liquid egg whites. That makes a huge omelet, and then I stuff it with whatever I've got lying around the house. That's super easy to fix. I always have eggs and liquid egg whites, and I always have vegetables I can throw in there. So things like that, make a list of those that you have on hand that you can go to when you, for some reason, you cannot do whatever you had planned for the day, something happened, so now you have your plan B and you know it's going to fit into your calories. So go-to meals, another really, really important hack that's going to help you a lot. Let's go to the next one. Number 4, this one is another really important one, you guys. All of these are actually. This one resonates with me a lot because I talk to people all the time about number 4, and that is tracking your consistency. And what I mean by that is literally go grab a calendar, a monthly calendar that you would put on the wall. And what you want to do is every day that you hit your calorie goal, that you hit your protein goal, and if it's a workout day, you hit your workout that day. We'll include workouts in this as well. You get to put a big red X on that day. If you didn't hit one of those, even if you were close, but you didn't hit it, put a big black X, a big black circle, sorry. So if you hit it, all 3, it's a red X. If you didn't hit it, or even didn't hit one of them, even if it was close, put a black circle. What this is gonna do when you do this every day is you're going to get an easy visual right away on just how consistent you are actually hitting your numbers. And people are really surprised when they do this. They think they are more consistent than what they're actually being. And that's another thing that we humans do. We overestimate that. We always overestimate how consistent we are. But when you actually start to track it, it's not necessarily as consistent as we think. We see there's room for improvement. And remember, you hear all the time, 80% consistency, 80% consistency. That's a great place to start. And oftentimes it may take a little bit more than 80%, but it's great to see what 80% consistency looks like in a visual on a calendar. And oftentimes people find that they're at 60%, 60 or 70% consistency, and they're not making the progress that they want. Well, we see why. The consistency of hitting the targets isn't there. Then what you want to do is, why am I not hitting my targets on those days? And you can go back to that previous video on reasons why you're not losing weight and refer to that one. I'll have Dan put the link to that in this video so you can see that. You can go back and look at some of these other hacks and maybe help implement them to help you. But take a look at maybe why you're not being as consistent as you thought you were and start taking action on that. But tracking consistency is a game changer. It really is, and it brings everything together on exactly what you're doing well on and exactly what you could improve upon. So let's go on to number 5. This one gets overlooked very easily, and that is daily movement. Up your daily movement. If you are at a desk job all day, I would set an alarm to like every hour to get up and just walk around. If you have the ability to go on short walks during the course of a day, do that. I like to get up first thing in the morning and go for a short 15-20 minute walk, something like that, with no other purpose other than to wake myself up and get some movement in before my day starts. And then I'll go for a walk later in the day. My point is I am trying to get more movement into my day every single day because I'm at my computer a lot. And so if that is you, find ways to get more movement in your day, whether it's setting the alarm and getting up from the table and moving, or doing a walk before you actually go to work. Whatever it is, think how you can increase your daily movement because that counts. Now, is it a big calorie burner that's going to burn massive amounts of calories? No, but it's all going to add up over the course of time. So if you are not moving very much, get a tracker that will give you step goals. You can give yourself a step goal. It could be anywhere, any kind of step goal. If you're not doing any steps, just your goal is to get up and move for 5-10 minutes. If you are counting steps, maybe try to go between 3,000 and 5,000 if you're new to this. If you've been walking for a while, maybe try to get up to 10. And there's no magic reason to do 10,000 steps. It's just a nice round number, but give yourself some step goals. That is one thing, by the way, that your trackers are very good at, and that is tracking your steps. And giving yourself a step goal, if you are not an active person, is a great way to get yourself started. So let's up your daily movement. That's going to help significantly. Let's go on to number 6. Number 6, don't quit. That's probably the best fat loss hack there is. People keep quitting. If you are trying these crazy restrictive diets, it's no wonder you can't keep that up. Nobody can, so you quit. Then you try another diet. Then you quit because progress maybe isn't happening fast enough for you. Whatever is happening, do not quit. Don't hop around from one program to the next. Don't even try to change your workout program all the time. Stick with something and see it through. That's significant because people are always quitting when they see the scale spike. This isn't working, I gotta do something else. When scale spikes all the time, that's pretty normal. That's gonna happen. And if you let that determine what you're gonna do next, you're gonna constantly spin your wheels. So don't quit. See this thing through. 30 days at least in a calorie deficit, hitting your protein targets, getting your workouts in, tracking your consistency. Try all of those for at least 30 days without quitting and see where you are at the end of 30 days. And then make adjustments if you need to. If not, you keep going. That's the key, because here's the thing, and I'll leave you with this. The only way you're not going to succeed, the only way, is if you quit. That's it. You're guaranteed not to succeed when you quit, right? But you're guaranteed to succeed if you keep going. That is a guarantee. So from now on, no more quitting. Stick with it. You can do it. I know you can. And I'm here to help you every single step of the way. I hope these 6 hacks help you. Some of them are a little more common sense than the others, but give these a try and let's see if these don't help you on your journey. And if I can ever be of help to you, please let me know. Click subscribe because we're going to be here often and we would love to hear from you. So take care, have a great day, and we'll see you soon.